Cheers, man. What's up?
Cheers, man. Excited to be here for the Brew Collar Special.
Yeah, so we talked about in the last few episodes. We're doing our first Brew Collar Special. This one's going to be the top 10 things to watch on Netflix. Obviously, this is a whole fucking opinionated list, but we're actually going to just start off right now. So you want to go ahead and kick them off at number 10?
Yeah, well, I think for me, I think we all know. Now, I do have some like big names on this list. But for me, we all know Stranger Things. We all know Squid Game,
Breaking Bad.
Yeah. But there's
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, there's some big names on here that kind of fall into that category. But for the most part, I tried to find like some hidden gems for people because that's what this is like. This is our top 10.
Yeah, for
Netflix
sure.
recommendations. So I want to at least kind of give people an idea on some things that they may not have seen.
Yeah, I like that. And most of these, I think like 8 out of my 10 are Netflix originals. I have 2 of them that aren't originals, but they've been on Netflix for a while, so I don't think they're going to be leaving.
Okay.
What about you? You have all Netflix originals?
I think most of them are. Most of them are
cool.
Netflix originals. I think they all might be. I'm pretty
cool.
sure.
And I tried to do that, but there was some I just couldn't not put on.
Couldn't
here.
leave off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really excited to see how your list goes. At number 10, I got The Marriage Story.
Oh, man.
Dude.
I'm really surprised you had that on there.
You know, it's one of those movies to where, like, it stuck with me. Like, The Marriage Story stuck with me, and it's the first time I became a fan of Adam Driver.
Yeah, me too.
Because you got Scarlett Johansson in there, who's always everyone loves Scarlett Johansson. She's so lovable, beautiful, just charming, and a great actor too. But to me,
nice tits too.
Yeah, who carried that? Adam Driver carried that movie to the point to where like, damn, you became a fan. And they kind of paint the picture. The Marriage Story, if you don't know, is about a couple that's going through a divorce, and they really make you.
They make you pull for both sides, I feel like.
They do. There's no right and wrong. It's just the nature of a divorce.
Right.
And, you might kind of side with the man in the relationship because you can relate to the man, or a woman might, whatever it is. It really paints. And sometimes, I have to tell people, like, okay, you do have to spend 2 hours in this headspace of a movie. Do you want to dedicate your time to watching a couple divorce? Maybe, maybe not. But the acting in that film and how raw it makes it feel real.
It does feel real.
And you become part of that
absolutely.
family during that movie. And Adam Driver's performance is so good.
Yeah, it is, man.
So good.
There's one scene specifically that we're both thinking of. There's a big argument scene in the film where, how Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson get into it, and that one fucking sticks to you.
It does.
Like, if they say fucked up shit to each other, and neither of them really mean it, they're just trying to win the argument in the moment because that's what their mindset is in the film, is win and lose.
Because when you get mad, you tend to have hot takes. You take things, you blow things out of proportion.
You go too far.
You just blow up.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
say some shit that you didn't mean.
Yeah, it's a very realistic movie.
Yeah, man. And that's like, for me, what makes a good movie, I'm always looking like acting and writing and directing, but I think one of the most important things is, like, if I'm not sure if I like the movie, is how does it stick with me the next day, and do I want to tell people to watch this?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
If I don't have the urge to tell people to watch it, then probably wasn't a good movie.
Right.
But yeah, The Marriage Story was one of those movies that stuck with me.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so coming in at my number 10, this movie isn't as like well written and well directed, well acted. It's a Netflix original, so it's not like it is a Netflix horror movie, which Netflix horror movies are not good.
They're not.
They're not good.
Yeah.
But this is one of the ones that stood out to me. That's why I got it in my top 10.
Really?
It's There's Someone Inside Your House.
I've heard good things about this.
Yeah, so I've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's one of the few Netflix movies where the people get murdered and it shows the shit.
Really? Because most of the time it just cuts away.
And it's not like a grindhouse. It's not like a gory movie, but it's like a fucking honestly, it's kind of teeny bopper.
Really? That's what Heather was telling me. She said it was pretty good for a
But
slasher.
Yeah, it's a classic slasher. I feel like it shows people getting murdered. It's got good plots. It makes you feel like you said, like the real thing with the last movie, with The Marriage Story. It feels real. Like, it feels like it could happen in a fucking small town, which a lot of us live in.
Yeah.
A lot of us live in little small towns where you know everyone, and it's the movie is basically so it's like a group. It's like a fucking bunch of high school students, and they've all got the dark secret shit. And this guy that's doing murder, he's kind of doing like a copycat thing, but instead of it being a copycat thing, he's murdering people that have these dark secrets that he doesn't like, but he's wearing their faces. He's wearing masks with their faces when he kills them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so like they're in their fucking house and they're about to go to the football game or whatever, and someone busts in their fucking house wearing their face, and they kill them and video it.
So it's kind of like some like Leatherface shit almost.
It's fucked up. Yeah, but the dude makes the masks, or the killer. I don't remember if it's a dude or a girl. Honestly, I don't remember who the killer was. It's been fucking a few months since I watched it. But it's one of the horror movies you don't. I didn't expect it to be good,
and it was really good.
And it was good. It was solid.
Check that out. I'm gonna have to write that down then.
Yeah, and like I said, horror movies on Netflix are fucking bad, dude.
They're bad.
And I whenever I watch it, I'm like, the plot sounds good, but every time a plot sounds good on Netflix for a horror movie, I feel like it's gonna be shitty.
Yeah.
But I tried anyway.
But honestly, like I can't really find a lot of horror movies that I am big on that are modern.
Exactly. This came out in 2022, so
I will say, just watch The Menu on HBO Max.
Oh yeah,
I really liked it. I'm a big Anna Taylor-Joy fan.
Yeah, for sure.
I really liked The Witch with her in it. That's
the Vavitch. Yeah.
The Vavitch. Yeah. Really like The Witch. Great movie. A lot of people loved Hereditary. I wasn't big on it.
Oh, that's another A24 films, right?
Yes.
Or all those are.
I believe so. I don't know about the Menu's not.
Okay, you're just.
But yeah, these are just some kind of like modern horror films that are pretty good.
Yeah, but none of those are going to be Netflix originals, like.
Right.
And so yeah, that's what I got on the list. I feel like it's deserving just because you never expect a Netflix original horror film to be good, and it was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Coming in at number 9, I have Ozark.
Oh,
Ozark
man,
is
okay.
One of those that classify into like the bigger names.
Yeah. People compare it to Breaking Bad a lot.
I think I'm a huge fan of Breaking Bad. I think it's probably the greatest show of all time, like TV show of all time.
That's probably fair. I mean, we've watched hours of spinoffs of Breaking Bad because it's so good.
Ozark, for me, it was a little watered down version of that.
I could see that.
But it was still great. But the main reason I want people to watch it is because Julia Gardner's character, Ruth, you have to see it. Like, because she is such a good actor in Ozark that if nothing else, watch it just to watch her act.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Because it's so good.
What's his fucking Jason Bateman's main character? Marty. What's his last name?
Marty something. God, I can't.
But
remember.
yeah, regardless, he plays like a really likable character.
He does.
Like you really pull for him in the show. He's kind of like, it's almost like he's like real shy, but he's also like the confident fucking guy. Like works really good under pressure.
Very level-headed guy. Keeps his cool during like the most pressured moments. Yeah.
And it's really, I like that pick. I like to have it being in your top 10.
Yeah. Ruth and Ozark was just to me more likable than even like Jesse was in Breaking Bad. Like Jesse was.
I feel like that's very similar. I agree with that.
You know, like the comparison is just like there's this like fucked up person, but they are doing their best.
Right,
they're doing their fucking best,
and like
you pulling for them, and you like in the acting. Just draws you.
And like
in.
you said, there's going to be some big names. I'm sure most people that are really going to listen to this have seen Ozark,
probably,
or at least tried to watch it. But that's the whole point to put it on here because the people that haven't seen it, go watch it. It's fucking awesome.
I think
it's an awesome show.
Good show, but I think that the best part of that show was Ruth Lane.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go? All right.
Yeah.
So for number 9, I've actually got I ain't gonna say too much, but I've got Big Mouth coming in.
Big Mouth, okay.
Yeah. So if you don't know what Big Mouth is, it's Nick Kroll and John Mulaney.
Two hilarious comedians.
It's just an animated fucking stupid show about basically kids growing up and hitting puberty.
Okay.
And it's such a fucking gross, like, just ridiculous cartoon show.
Really? I've never watched it,
It's
but
so fucking funny, man.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah, and it really, like the first season is going to be a lot of stupid situations where, like, the girl gets her first period or she wears the fucking red bra to school and all the guys are like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking boner alert, But there's Nick Kroll voices like 12 characters in the show.
Really? I could
and
see
it's
him being
so
like
fucking
a voice
funny,
actor
dude.
like that.
Because it's like, you couldn't tell that it's really him.
Yeah,
all 12 voices.
John Mulaney is another one of those guys. Like, I kind of judged him before watching his stand-ups.
Right.
And, dude, he is one of my favorite comedians. Like,
Yeah,
he's so good.
That's like one of the things that made me like John Mulaney. Is because his character, Andrew Glauberman.
Okay.
He's a Jew. And it's the funniest. It's one of the best characters. Like, it's so funny because he's like, he hits puberty. In the first episode, he hits puberty before Nick Kroll's character. Which actually I think is Nick. I don't know his last name in the show, the character's last name, but Nick sees John Mulaney's character's dick, in the first episode, and it shows the dick. Of course, it's a very like vile cartoon show. It's ridiculous. But Andrew has like a much bigger dick than Nick does.
So clearly, like an Adult Swim type show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Nick's like the little kid, but he's like super confident and like he can kind of pull the girls, but he hasn't hit puberty yet.
Yeah,
and he's like battling that insecurity of not hitting puberty, and then he's a late bloomer, and then Andrew has got he's the big dick, but he's a doofus. Like he's an idiot. He can't get the girls, likes jazz,
Okay.
But yeah, it's a really good like coming of age, like you can relate to it, like because we all were in those awkward situations.
Yeah, when
you don't know what the fuck, you don't know. It's all new stuff.
When you're going through puberty at a young age, everything's weird.
It's so weird.
Everything you're trying to understand and make the best of it, and it's just the life's coming at you fast.
And I really like the show because like we talk about pushing boundaries. This show is fucking like it really pushes boundaries.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it definitely it's gonna make you a little uncomfortable.
I've heard good things.
I would recommend it just as much as I would recommend like Rick and Morty or something like that.
Really?
Fucking hilarious, dude.
Okay.
Very funny.
Well,
show.
John Mulaney and Nick Kroll are two hilarious guys.
Like you would enjoy it a lot. Like Futurama. I mean, obviously it's not as good as Rick and Morty and Futurama, but fucking hilarious, man.
Still good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. At number 8, I have Love on the Spectrum.
Oh man, you talked about this before.
Yeah, and I'm gonna rope in like the U.S. version and the like I guess this might be a UK version or something,
sure.
or like
we can pull that up.
There's 2 different versions. So there's the U.S. version of Love on the Spectrum, and then there's I don't know if it's like the world or like a European version or something like that.
Australia.
Okay. Yeah, but both phenomenal. I'm not really big. I know I've talked about it on previous podcasts before because when I first started watching it is when we were, I brought it up.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
like
one of those
20 episodes ago.
I'm not big on reality TV.
Right.
I don't like any reality TV. But to see these people, these autistic people trying to find true love, like they are so genuine. They don't care about how you they're so themselves, and it's so much fun to watch. And it does get a little cringy at moments because when you get 2 socially awkward people and put them in a dinner environment.
Yeah, right. And they're on TV too.
They're on TV. Everybody's been coaching them up, making this a big deal. Hell, if I was going on a date and I had everybody around me trying to coach me up on how to, it'd
be so
freak
awkward,
me out too. Yeah,
for sure. Well, that's because you're on the spectrum.
Probably.
So it's definitely. I hadn't watched it yet, and it seems like a really relatable show.
Definitely.
But like you also. What is where like you pull for the characters too though?
That's the thing. It's like you start
not characters as people. I say
people,
characters, but as people. It's a
you
real
start to pull for these people because you want them to be happy. You want them to find true love, and it takes you on this journey, and you're like, you start to realize that they're like at the end you're like, oh my god, that went terrible, and the person's like, oh, this was amazing. I had such a good time. And you're
oh, wow.
They're so focused on like just saying the right things that they don't themselves have the opportunity to really like take in the person they're on the date with. Right. So they're just worrying about their own personal performance.
Yeah, I could see that.
And like just being
trying to be
a normal, like relatable person, or just trying
to get the other person to like them.
Yeah, that's all they're trying to do. Like we all do.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's so much fun to just watch.
I'm really surprised this isn't higher up on your list, honestly.
I thought about it.
But then again, you got 7 more to go, so I'll see.
Yeah, it's just one of those very interesting and a little eye opening too.
Right.
Because you get a glimpse of like just other people's lifestyles.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So for my number 8, I've got the show Sex Education.
Okay.
This is another kind of coming of age. I had to put these back to back because I feel like Sex Education is a better show. There's actually more like serious. It's a little more serious than Big Mouth, but it's still like the coming of age show with as a fucking high school students. And I'm actually on 3 fucking shows in a row with little kids. I just realized this. I just made my order like official today. So, but yeah. So in Sex Education, it's another one of those fucking raunchy. Like it's so fucking funny. But I like this a little better than Big Mouth because it has those. First off, it's like actual actors, so I appreciate the acting. There's actually some solid actors in the show.
Okay.
But the fucking show is just like it got those like really deep like you pull for characters. There's some characters that go through some shitty stuff.
It's funny. I haven't seen any of these on your list.
I know we're
gonna get to a point to where we both
the next one.
Similar
the next one
things.
you've seen this one, but
Okay, we might have the same one then.
I don't think so.
But keep going.
But yeah, so Sex Education is another one of those like coming of age, but it's about this. It's like a guy that has he grows up with a single mom. His dad's a piece of shit, but his mom is a sex therapist, and it's actually a UK show, and he ends up like. There's this fucking like shitty fucking little room, like bathroom out back behind the high school, and everybody goes there and does drugs and fucks and whatever, And but he ends up doing his own sex therapy with the kids in his high school.
Oh god.
In the back, but like he does it like through the bathroom stalls, so they don't see each other.
Oh, okay.
So like he'll just like because he's like he fucking apple fiddles it fall far from the tree,
Yeah.
It's like he's got all of like his same like talent that his mom does, and both characters are super fucking likable. But yeah, he just fucking therapizes people. I don't know if that's a word.
Therapizes. I don't
know.
know.
That sounds like therapize.
Made up on the spot.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what we do.
Yeah. So yeah, he therapizes people, and but it's really cool to see like, because like I enjoy whenever we do our podcast, like us coming to a realization about something about ourselves, and you see like some of these characters like really open up, and which is something you never see with kids.
You definitely don't.
Like
Everyone's trying to fit into the social norm.
And you can see like a lot of the characters that are doing that, but then whenever they go to the therapy and get therapized,
They
open up because it's not face to face.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to see like that situation where like these people are even the most stuck up fucking popular person in the show is like going through fucked up shit.
Going through some shit. Yeah.
And so they go in there and the main character is just this fucking kind of like. Pretty to himself, like virgin kid, but he understands how people's brains work.
Okay.
And it's really fun to watch. It's a really good show. I think you would enjoy it.
It's called what again?
Sex Education. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so number 7. We're back to you.
Okay, number 7, I'm going to go with The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Ah, man, I almost put this on here. We talked about it downstairs.
Yeah, it's not on your list?
It's not on my list.
Oh, man, I love The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
It's not on my list. I gotta pause you real quick. Are we doing honorable mentions?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
I have one.
All right, I have one
honorable
then too.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is like a anthology series where every episode is different, kind of like Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Something like that. Was it Tim Blake Nelson? Is that the lead?
Tim Blake Nelson.
And the first episode, and then the second episode is like James Franco,
which he plays the character Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, but
Tim Blake Nelson, that is.
And Coen Brothers, I think.
Yeah, it's Coen Brothers.
Yeah, Coen Brothers.
It's the dark fucking humor.
The dark comedy is always amazing. And there's some dark humor in The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Like we've all seen the meme of James Franco with the noose around his neck going, "Oh, first time," because the person beside him's crying because they're about to die, and
it's already been fucking hung up. He's about to get hanged again.
Yeah,
hanged. That doesn't seem like it should be a real word, but that is the word.
It's not. He's about to get hung.
No,
I guess
hanged
would mean
is the right word.
Damn.
Hung is like whenever we're talking about John Michael's dick.
Shout out
John Michael. Nice cock.
Shout out John Michael's dick.
That's cock, bro.
Yeah, Ballad of Buster Scruggs is one of those. Takes you on this like goofy ride of just like fun but dark. Like we all kind of like. There's a lot of us out here who, when we're faced with like an uncomfortable situation or like a dark situation, we make light of it by making a joke about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is kind of what the Coen brothers do best.
That's like that John Mulaney bit that we were just watching where he's talking about all comics having a dark, fucked up past.
Yeah.
And he's like, and now some of us might have fucked up pasts, including myself, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
That was a good John Mulaney impression,
It
wasn't
wasn't bad.
That was a good voice.
It wasn't bad.
I actually felt it like Andrew Glauberman.
Yeah, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs is one it stuck with me.
I like that. I'm really happy that's on the list. I kind of tried to deviate away from like what you were gonna do.
Okay.
But also like I didn't. I just kind of put what I thought would be interesting because we watch a lot of different shit.
We do.
Surprisingly, because we're so the same.
Yeah. It was like we'll show each other like news. Usually, we watch a lot of different things. Like
but we always recommend the same shit. But like you just said, the first 3 on my list, you haven't watched any of them.
Yeah, that's interesting. We haven't gotten to the point to where we have the same thing.
It's coming.
It's coming.
But
yeah, Ballad of Buster Scruggs, definitely recommend it.
I remember the first time watching that and laughing my ass off, and then also being like, "God damn, this is dark."
And sometimes, like I've met some people who just did not like.
Oh, me too. I mean, we went to dinner with 2 of them.
Yeah, they didn't like it. So
lunch. 4 o'clock.
Really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, it was good, man. So my number 7. Sorry, my shit fucked up. My number 7 is one of them that's not a Netflix original, and it's actually Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I didn't realize it was on Netflix, or I guess it's been on Netflix for a while.
It has.
But I didn't realize it was going to still be on there, and I guess they're not taking it off anytime soon. But Scott
Scott,
Pilgrim is
that's
a movie that I fucking shit on for a while, and you
I
did
did
the
too.
same thing.
I did the same thing.
And I watched the first time I watched it, I was like, this is kind of cool, but I was just like, oh, whatever. And then going back and watching it, dude, I got like hooked on it. I watched it like 3 times in the same like 3-day span.
Yeah, it's like a comic book meets like Street Fighter type of
Yeah, it is
movie. It's very
and it's
very cool.
but like my favorite part about it is like, well, first off, Jack White, one of our favorite artists, he actually writes all the music for the song or for the movie.
That's so cool.
And it shows. Like, there's one song fucking called "Garbage Man" that they perform where they're doing like
garbage man.
Yeah, I'll take out your junk. Like and it's just got like that fucking punk rock, like alternative, like because he's in Scott Pilgrim's in a band, but basically Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I'm sure most of the people that are listening to this have seen it, but if you haven't, it's about it's Michael Cera, and he plays this fucking kind of like doofy bass player guy, but he can get girlfriends.
Yeah, he can.
And he ends up dating this girl. I can't think of the actress's name.
I don't know her name.
But I don't know if you've seen Final Destination 3, but she was actually one of the people that the main character in Final Destination 3, the girl that's having the visions. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And so, but what's the fucking girl's name that he's trying to be with? Damn, I'll think of it in a second.
I can't remember.
I'll think of it probably halfway through. But yeah, so she's got all these 7 crazy exes, and
he has to fight them.
He has to fight them to the death.
Yeah, and it turns into like it's definitely one of those.
It's a goofy film.
It's a goofy film, but it's one of those like not necessarily an indie film, but like
it's pretty close. It's almost like Juno, like
yeah,
in a way, like it came out at the same time, like in the 2000s, where it's not really a coming of age type of thing, but it's just fun. It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie.
It's a really fun movie, and that's really my first 4 things has been like the high school fucking.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Which is I didn't mean to have this theme in here. I mean that's just kind of the stuff I've been watching on Netflix. I thought about putting Outer Banks, but I figured I feel like it's too popular.
Okay.
And I feel like it's kind of like in the Breaking Bad realm of everybody's fucking seen it and heard of it. And
I got you.
They either liked it or they didn't.
I got you.
But yeah, Scott Pilgrim. If you didn't like it in the past or whatever, I really recommend going to give it another shot because it's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie.
It's got some stupid humor that's going to make you laugh your ass off.
Scott Pilgrim. I didn't think
it's got some cool fight scenes. It's got good music. It's a really fun, like well-rounded show or movie.
It's not for everyone.
It's definitely not for everyone. I agree.
But it's worth a watch.
I agree.
I really like that movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you like that.
Yeah. Where are we at? 6?
Yeah, we're at 6.
We're going pretty quick here.
Yeah, we are. We're killing it.
Number 6, I got Maniac.
Oh man, I watched the first episode. That's it.
With Jonah Hill and Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I haven't.
Wichita.
Zombieland. Yeah. Dude, Jonah Hill plays this very depressed guy.
Doesn't know what to do with his life.
Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with his life, and he goes to this. I think they're paying people to try medicine on him to like therapy.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to sign a waiver, and I mean these are people. They're trying drugs. It's a drug trial program.
Yeah.
So you go in, you try different types of drugs for like a month or 2, and they're like new advanced drugs, and they take you into these like not necessarily different dimensions, but like
into another dimension.
And they take you into these like these different universes. I guess like when you go like they're tripping balls.
Okay.
They're fucking tripping balls.
Yeah, I got you.
And it's supposed to like make you face the darkest parts of your brain, or like
right
certain aspects of your brain that make you they're making you see this, and Maniac is one of those just fun films. I'm a big Jonah Hill fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always been a big Jonah Hill fan.
And it's kind of weird because I watched the first episode, and I really haven't like all these shows or stuff I've watched years ago. So I'm really making this, and like some of them are like There's Someone Inside Your House and Big Mouth. I still watch every episode that comes out of it. But I don't really keep up with a lot of fucking shows on Netflix. I'm just so busy. But I did watch the first episode of Maniac, and that's when it's like been high on my list to watch. But I'm not a fan of Emma Stone.
I'm not the biggest fan of her either.
And I liked her character in the first episode.
She's good, man.
She's a good actor.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I started watching it, was because I heard so many good things, that there's some good scenes for her in the film or in the show. But yeah, I like that recommendation.
And the whole time you're watching this, you're like, damn, I'm not getting the Jonah Hill I'm used to.
Yeah, where he's all
like the
happy
funny,
go lucky.
the goofy Jonah Hill.
I know, right? I know. That one?
Exactly. You get until there's this one part, like kind of later on in the, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but he plays this Swedish guy who's like on trial for something, and he's like having to like defend himself, and it is so fucking funny, dude.
Oh, so you get a little glimpse of real Jonah Hill.
You get the old Jonah Hill. It's just a little
Steve Madden.
Dude, that scene in The Wolf of Wall Street where he's fucked up
genius,
on Quaaludes.
He's fucking genius.
Oh, man, him and Leo. So
he
good
said,
together.
I'd fuck her if she was my sister.
Oh, talking about Margot Robbie?
Yeah. I mean, oh, man. But yeah, Maniac. I got to go finish watching it, man. I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fan of that recommendation, especially because, like, I like those psychological shows, and that's really what you've been into. I feel like that's like 90% of your list already.
Really?
Which you had Love on the Spectrum, Maniac. Ballad of Buster Scruggs was even the same way.
Yeah, I feel like Love on the Spectrum is more like, I mean, it is more psychological, but it really, if you're going to put it in a category, it's going to be just reality.
Yeah, that's
TV.
fair. That's fair.
Ozark's more the
crime,
beers. Like crime, like
but it still like plays those mental games,
oriented,
like
yeah.
But I feel like we're definitely getting to more of the mental stuff here soon. I got a feeling
for
this
sure.
Stuff is on there
Yeah,
for you.
maybe so. Maybe so.
So we're at number 6, right?
Yes.
So for my number 6, and I know you're probably going to be upset that this isn't higher, but it's Bo Burnham Inside.
Oh, it's not higher.
It's not higher.
Number 6. Okay, I'm listening.
So Bo Burnham Inside, and I'll let you talk about it more because I've got a good feeling it's on your list.
Okay.
But Bo Burnham Inside, I'm not a fan of Bo Burnham.
I'm not either.
But Bo Burnham Inside's a fucking masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece.
It's genius, dude.
It is.
It's so funny. It's dark. You relate because it was. He wrote Bo Burnham Inside. He wrote it was not really a special, but he did all of it from inside of his house
during the pandemic.
Yeah, during COVID in 2020, and he hadn't done stand up comedy, I believe, in like 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a while
because of his anxiety and depression. He couldn't go on the stage.
Yeah, every time he went on stage, he had a panic attack.
Yeah.
Which is not a good place to have one.
No, not when that's how you make money.
Yeah.
So he really came out of that and like just took a chance. He directed it all. He edited it all himself. He did all of it himself. The entire special was him, and he just sent it into Netflix.
Yeah, he edited it. He
filmed it.
Because during, I think it's the Inside Outtakes on Netflix.
And that's the Inside Outtakes is
the outtakes of Bo Burnham's Inside.
Okay, yeah.
He does this one little bit of like, all right, he acts like he's on some kind of game show, and he acts like he goes, all right, let's meet the actor of Inside, and it's Bo Burnham, the director of Inside, Bo Burnham, the writer of Inside.
And there's like 20 screens.
He did everything.
And he interviews them as Bo Burnham. He's like, I'm your interviewer, Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the director, Bo Burnham. How do you feel about? And then all of them are the exact same fucking character.
I'll get to my takes on Bo Burnham.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So
eventually, but
yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm good with moving on to number 5. You are, and we'll talk about this a little bit more whenever we get to your top 3.
Okay, I'll go into Love, Death, and Robots as number 5.
Okay, I had a feeling that was coming up soon.
Another anthology series of just every episode's different. All the artwork, all the animated artwork in the show is different every time. I mean, you do see a couple similar things, but like as soon as you go into an episode, it just your brain automatically starts processing
how it's going to end.
Feeling of like the animation sets a feeling in your brain.
So what exactly is Love, Death, and Robots?
They all kind of have a message. Everything's a little different. It's very dark.
And you said it is animated?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
100% animated. There is a couple episodes where there's like real people in it. Like one of the dudes from that 70s show's in it, like the main dude.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Is in it. And in that episode, I'm not going to spoil anything, but he is in his home and he's married to this woman. And in their freezer is a whole like ecosystem, like a whole world.
Is that the animation?
Yeah, then it's a whole he opens his freezer and he sees like bombs going off and like a society in his freezer. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a fun, and it's a fun series, and it's one of those. I think it's like 3 seasons to where.
How long are the episodes?
From 10 to 30 minutes.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Fast, get it over, get the point out, and like some of them stick with you, some of them don't, but the excitement of starting one and seeing what's going on here, There's one episode where a woman lost her husband. She lives by herself. Do you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like the fan.
Okay. She lives by herself, and there's actually.
No, that's something outside. You're
Okay.
good.
Actually, I'm thinking about something else. Yeah, I mean, I showed you the.
You're thinking about the next thing on your list.
Yeah, the Night of the Many. Yeah, the Night of the Many Dead.
Oh yeah,
which
you did
was
show me that
so
one,
much fun. Like you want more. It's like 10 minutes of
Yeah, you do.
fast forwarded zombies and how like a zombie apocalypse happens.
Yeah,
And
one person getting bit and the fucking person come out of the grave and like
it's so outrageous, but it's so much fun.
That's cool. That's cool.
I cannot recommend Love, Death, and Robots enough. It is such a fun. You'll binge it so fast.
Right.
I finished it in 3 days. It's 3 seasons.
Oh, okay, cool. So for my number 5, I've got, and this is another one that's this is actually my last one that's not a Netflix original, but it's been on Netflix since fucking 2015. I don't see it going anywhere, but it's actually Supernatural.
Oh, okay, nice.
So Supernatural is it's been one of my favorite shows for a long time, which is funny because I've actually never finished it, which doesn't make a good case for it being at my number 5. However, this show it's got like the very dark moments. Like some of my favorite moments in the show, it's Supernatural is about two brothers. Most of you know, but it's about two brothers, Sam and Dean. They hunt monsters, like fucking ghouls and zombies and fucking
goblins.
Witches and whatever the fuck.
Right.
But like they're all real things.
Vampires, whatever.
Fucking werewolves. Yeah, they're all real things. And they're fucking killing people in the real world to eat, to live.
Right.
And so it starts off. The first episode starts off with, the main character, one of the main characters, Sam, has went off to college. He's fucking left that hunter life. And then his brother Dean the older brother's been hanging out with the dad, fucking he's stuck to because he kind of related more to the dad. So, but their dad goes missing on a hunting trip, and he goes and he tracks his brother down in college, and they go on a fucking hunt together. And then it ends up Sam gets back into the shit, But I
watched the first episode.
The cool thing about the show is obviously we fucking love cars. Men love cars. We love. It's got like the romantic fucking shit. Like it's. I feel like it's a good show for anyone. Like I love the things I love about it is that obviously the action is fucking awesome, but really it's a fucking psychological show. Like they have to make fucked up decisions in the show, and it's really interesting to see them make those decisions. Like choosing between saving this person or saving my brother.
Oh, okay.
And then or choosing between saving myself and saving this person.
Right.
And being selfish and selfless and the whole balance of that.
I heard it's a really good soundtrack too.
Oh, dude, the music that's why I stayed.
Yeah, the music.
The first episode, they fucking get in the car and AC/DC's on the radio. And then his brother's like, what the fuck is this mixtape? And it's fucking Black Sabbath. And he's like, you dumb fuck, how are you gonna shit on Black Sabbath like that, And then the next thing you know, Sam's fucking humming Black Sabbath 12 episodes later.
You don't get enough of that.
And that's the whole show is full of rock and roll and fucking cars and guns and just fucking action. But it's also
got a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah, it's got some deeper shit to it. Yeah. And not only I'm saying all the shit that fucking men cars and guns and shitting and farting, but even for women, the fucking show's got great action, but it's also got a lot of stuff that you're into the fucking dudes.
Yeah.
Like me.
The characters grow on you.
The characters fucking grow on you. They're likable characters.
Good character development.
They seem they're very realistic.
Okay.
And so I think I'm really surprised you haven't watched the show.
Yeah.
Just because
it's been recommended to me from you,
it's the action,
Heather, a bunch of people. Damn, yeah, Supernatural. I definitely knew it would be on your list.
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah, I've always heard the music in that is really good.
Dude, full of nonstop references. And
Really?
they'll go to a certain case, they call it cases whenever they're hunting a monster. And I FBI agents. And one example is they'll go in as FBI agents and be like, oh yeah, I'm Officer Page and this is Officer Plant.
Oh, nice.
They'll do those references.
Stuff like that, yeah.
The whole time is that.
I love shit like that.
And they'll go
I need to watch that then.
They'll go so deep into music. And if you don't know, then it doesn't mean
it doesn't mean anything. It's just a good show.
But if you do know,
it hits.
You're yeah.
Nice. Okay.
But really, there's one specific episode that hit where they got out of a really fucked up situation, and then at the end, fucking Alice in Chains is on.
Oh, nice.
And you're just and they're you get the chills and you get the goosebumps because the song comes on, but it's good.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to number 4, right?
Number 4, I have Black Mirror.
Oh yeah, I knew this was coming.
You guessed it a second ago because I was actually when I was talking about Love, Death, and Robots, I was about to explain an episode from Black Mirror. It's another anthology series, which I think I have 3 of those on here,
you do.
surprisingly. But
This is kind of weird that we have themes to our list.
a little bit. But Love, Death, and Robots and Black Mirror are very similar. One's just animated. But man, Black Mirror is like, it's not Jeepers Creepers, but the Tales from the Crypt,
which is anthology,
meets higher technology.
Okay.
So like, they throw all these like new technology at you, but they're not
like that far-fetched.
Well, yeah, because I mean, most of these you're like, oh my god, I could see this happening. I
Right.
mean, Elon Musk is talking about putting a neural link in your head.
Yeah,
It's
for
like
sure.
some of these things are like I said, there was one where a woman and a man are married. The man dies. She's grieving. She misses him, and she's looking for some kind of alternative to like help her mental peace. And she comes across this this website where she can order a person, but it's not like a human being like you or me. It's like a blow up person who's real.
Oh, okay, so it's just like a robot, basically.
Basically like a robot.
Yeah, but it's
looks
a person.
exactly like you, and they have like you can kind of program some things into it, like tell them like what you like, what you don't like from the person that
Yeah.
you know. But at the end of the day, that's not the person.
True.
The mannerisms aren't there. The attention to detail from the person you love isn't there. It's just this looks like you're the person you loved, but it's really not. And how dark that shit it really is.
Yeah. That's
Sticks
fucked up.
with you, man. Because eventually, I mean, what do you do? Like you have this person, and like they react to ways you expect Gabby to react to certain things a certain way,
Right.
when you do things.
Pretty much.
And then this person is like, and you're looking at him like, you're not the person I love.
Yeah, right.
Like he wouldn't react that way.
But they do stuff that's so close to it, you get a bit like feel like
man,
it is.
it's just like you feel for this person.
Like, fucks
and
with
this
you.
is just one of the episodes. All the episodes are different, like I said. But man, it's so dark.
You know, my favorite thing about anthologies is that the actors are always changing.
Yeah,
It's
it's always a new plot.
It's a plethora of actors,
Plethora.
and that's a word that doesn't get used enough.
It really doesn't.
It's a pretty solid word.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good.
Just fun out the
It's
plethora.
just as good as therapize.
Therapist.
Not as good.
Not as good. Oh. Yeah. It's man, and there's a couple. Like I said, some episodes they might not stick with you as much.
Right.
But man, some of those episodes fucking stick with you.
That's another thing that's like I feel like anthologies are kind of safe too in that way where if I don't like episode 1, I just won't watch it. No, because episode 2 is completely different. It's not the same characters. It's not the same plot. It's not like a whole series about 2 characters.
Yeah.
It changes. So that's really cool.
And you'll see some familiar faces in there. Like the dude from Get Out is in one of the.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I think Miley Cyrus is in one of them.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen her face on those.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of. John Hamm is in one of them.
Okay, cool.
That one's really dark.
John Hamm's the guy from Mad Men. Okay.
Yeah. And the Progressive commercials.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about that. Apparently, John Hamm. I know this is completely irrelevant, but John Hamm had a fantasy football league where where everybody would get together at their fantasy football draft, and then they would kick out one person every year, but they didn't find out who got kicked out of the draft until they were at the draft.
Damn, that's shitty.
So
He got kicked out, right?
I think he did, yeah.
Because he's in it's like a celebrity thing, right? Like a bunch of celebrities. Are
I'm
in
not
fantasy
exactly
football,
sure,
I
but
think.
yeah, he's in that league where
Otherwise, you wouldn't kick out John Hamm.
That's fair. But you're in the league where the whole team, the whole squad votes. Everybody in the fucking thing votes. And whoever has the most votes, you get there, kicked out. Go on, see ya.
Damn, that's dirty.
At the draft, so you're all prepared and shit. But yeah, that's a John Hamm fact, if you were wondering.
Nice. Yeah, Black Mirror is one of those that it's
It
a
sticks
must.
with you,
It's
yeah.
a must watch.
Okay.
You have to watch. I mean, I
That's
think
cool.
all these on this list are, but number 4,
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
Okay, so my number 4 is a movie I've talked about a lot. It's my last movie on here, and it's The Devil All the Time.
I knew this would be on here.
It had to be on here. It's a Netflix original, which, like I said, you don't come across very many Netflix original films that are good. I mean, horror films is what I specifically said, but really, Netflix original films in general, or you just don't come across good ones. And The Devil of the Time, man, it's another one of those ones that make you uncomfortable, and like you pull for characters, but it's also like it's a really good like. There's a lot of character development. The whole movie is 2.5 hours of character development. I mean, it's amazing of how like you can see like a lot of characters change their mind. But basically, the plot in the show is that it's Tom Holland plays the son of Bill Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård is long passed away, and spoiler alert. And there's going to be spoiler alerts, in this. I mean, not too bad, but Bill Skarsgård plays a dad. He was like a war veteran, and then Tom Holland is his son. And it's just about like this town. It's another like a fucking small town where like a lot of it's like a small Christian town where people are like, they act like they're doing the right thing, and they're just fucking not doing the right thing. Like they're clearly being super manipulative to people, and like
kind of like a cult or something.
Kind of like cultish, but not a cult. Okay. It's hard to explain. It's just a movie you have to watch, and if you watch it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I don't know how to explain this to a person. But
I don't think people that's the one with
It's got Tom Holland. It's got Bill Skarsgård. It's got Robert Pattinson. Yeah, the scene, the illusion.
Yeah, people don't understand how good of an actor Robert Pattinson is. And he's pretty damn good.
Actually, there's my number 3. It's got one of the actors from that show that's coming up in this film.
Okay.
In The Devil All the Time, and I'll reveal which actor that is whenever we get to my number 3. But
I've heard a lot of good things about The Devil All the Time. It looks like a well-written, great acting performance.
And I want to say it was written by the Safdie brothers, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
The Safdie brothers are the people that did Uncut Gems and Good Time, but I think I'm actually wrong on that. Let me go look that up.
Uncut Gems was I didn't like Good Time, dude. I know you're a fan.
Was good, man.
It didn't do it for me. I was excited.
You can be wrong, man.
I was excited when it was over.
Oh no, Antonio Campos is the director. I'm not actually sure what he did. Oh, he did albums. Okay, but anyway, yeah. The Devil All the Time. I really enjoyed the character development. It really has like a Quentin Tarantino and the most it has a Coen Brothers feel to it.
Really,
like it feels like a really well developed. And there's not any humor though. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't need the humor. It's a fucking dark. It's a dark film.
Yeah.
And like there's so many fucked up situations that a lot of the characters get into, and how they react and how they just like let shit slide because it's a small town and they don't want to they're getting manipulated. Yeah. There's so much manipulation. There's a lot of manipulation going on in the movie. And I think the acting is phenomenal. That's really where I stayed for. It
looks like a good acting movie.
Bill Skarsgård is a fucking phenomenal actor.
He's so much better than Alexander Skarsgård.
I know.
So much better.
And then Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson are 2 phenomenal actors.
Yeah.
I actually really fell in love with Tom Holland's character the most.
Tom Holland's pretty good.
Because he plays Spider-Man and he plays some other shit, but like, dude, the character he plays in The Devil All the Time is like, god damn, this is dark as fuck.
That seems like a movie where it's set up for good acting.
It is.
Yeah, it looks like it's one of the movies
full of good
on
acting.
my
So
list.
if you appreciate good acting, I mean, I'll put this movie. I wouldn't put anything else really over it on Netflix. And
this is number 4, right? We're on 4?
It is my number 4. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't put any of it. This is my highest movie, pretty much. That's on Netflix, especially Netflix original. But HBO Max, Hulu, I wouldn't put anything above it.
Yeah, I had some The Marriage Story. Pretty sure that's a Netflix original. I think it is.
I don't know if it is or not.
It might not be.
I think it was in the theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you might be right. I can't remember. But yeah, I had a hard time finding like movies for mine too.
Right. And I have 3 on mine, and it was kind of hard to put the last one.
There's some good movies on Netflix.
But yeah, there's some good movies on Netflix.
I think they do better with like just their
shows,
like limited series and shows and For sure. Coming in at number 3, I have Better Call Saul.
Ah, yeah. And I'm going to point this out. Our camera actually isn't wide enough to pick up. This studio is full of posters and shit, and the camera doesn't do our studio justice.
Yeah, there's things covering almost.
But we've got a massive fucking 4-foot poster of Better Call Saul on your side, and this.
It's fun. At least I get to look at the Inglourious Bastards one behind you. Kind of miss out.
I always forget that's there. I always forget that's there.
Yeah,
we'll have to do it where we switch seats one day.
It's what would you call it? Just
it's a spinoff from
Breaking Bad. I mean, most of us have seen Breaking Bad, and most of us have probably seen Better Call Saul. But Jimmy McGill,
Jimmy,
Bob Odenkirk plays a lawyer in Breaking Bad. They do a spinoff on it, and it's not one of those. Don't expect like instant action when you go into watching this, but the character development, the writing, the directing, and Better Call Saul is next level.
Right.
Especially the character development. The character development with Kim Wexler is, I think, it's just as like it's one of the top character developments in any show I've ever seen. It's right there with Walter White, I think.
Oh,
It's
wow,
right
yeah,
there. I mean, I wouldn't put it like because she is.
I would agree with that 100%.
Like, Walter White's character development is arguably the greatest we've seen.
Right.
Because he starts with, we've seen Breaking Bad. He starts as a guy who's trying to make money because he has cancer, and then now he's become sucked into it, and he's a fucking dark criminal,
for sure.
And Kim Wexler, you start, she's a very like clean cut. You see someone who's the best at what they do.
Right.
She's one of the best lawyers, you can tell.
Yeah.
And then just to kind of see her character develop into
Transition
what it became is very interesting. And Bob Odenkirk kills it as Better Call Saul.
Oh, yeah. And it's actually kind of cool that you mentioned, Bob Odenkirk. His brother, actually, Bill Odenkirk, was one of the writers for Futurama.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so,
Futurama. I love Futurama.
Yeah, they're fucking just unprecedented talent between the two of them, much like me and you. But yeah, Better Call Saul is like it's exactly what you fucking wanted from a spinoff.
Yeah.
Whenever you watch Breaking Bad, you want more, and that's one of the reasons we didn't have Breaking Bad on here because everybody's either seen or tried Breaking Bad.
Yes.
And so the ones that have seen it, Saul Goodman is a character you fucking need more of. You don't want more of him. You need more of Breaking Bad. You need more of him. And there's just not enough. And there's a lot in Breaking Bad of Saul Goodman. It's not enough.
So
they made a whole 6 seasons.
And it is amazing.
And it's every second of it. Everything you appreciate about Breaking Bad is 10 times more of it in Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm very interested to see what has won more awards.
I would probably say Better Call Saul just because it was more known.
Well, Breaking Bad set up Better Call Saul. So that's what makes me question.
Exactly.
Breaking Bad was a better show.
I agree 100%.
But Better Call Saul is just as good in its own way.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want more Better Call Saul. You want more Saul Goodman, and then you get like a different side of him that you didn't expect. You really get. It shows you how his real name Jimmy McGill, how he turns into Saul Goodman.
Yeah, because he was
Slippin' Jimmy.
Fucking Slippin' Jimmy. He was just
he was a scumbag.
He was a damn con artist.
He was, yeah. I once made a woman believe that I was Kevin Costner because I believed it. That's what he says in one episode. Yeah. And it's kind of funny that going back and I think in Breaking Bad, there's a scene where he wakes up with a woman. And she says, "You're not Kevin Costner," and he goes, "Yeah, but last night I was."
Oh man,
that was in Breaking Bad.
That's That's the good shit they carried over,
and he incorporates that shit.
Yes.
Vince Gill is a fucking genius.
He's a genius.
That's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah,
he's a genius.
He's a genius.
As far as the soundtrack goes in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, the character development, the directing, the film work, everything is fucking pure genius.
Yeah. I can't recommend Better Call Saul enough. I can't wait to watch season 6. I know it's out, but
yeah, I think the rest of it comes out on Netflix. The very last season, it comes out on Netflix either this month or next month. So,
oh man, I can't wait to finish that.
Yeah, it's exciting for sure.
So, what you got number 3?
So number 3, I know where this is on your list because I know what your next pick is.
You know what's left, yeah.
And this is what my number 3 is, and it's Queen's Gambit.
Nice.
The Queen's Gambit is. We talked about Anya Taylor-Joy. Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Queen's Gambit we've talked about on the podcast countless times, but Whiplash, The Queen's Gambit, Black Swan, all those fucking
Chase for Perfection.
The Chase for Perfection.
Yeah.
It is so fucking good. And it's another one of those shows where it shows a person growing up in a circumstance that's obviously not ideal.
Right. She's an orphan.
She's an orphan. And
her dad ran away, mom passed away and killed herself, yeah.
Yeah, with her in the car.
She
tried to kill everybody.
Yeah, this is no spoiler. You learned this like episode 1.
Minutes, yeah.
And
so she goes to an orphanage, which is a lot of fucked up shit happening, and she learns to play chess with the janitor in the basement. And man, it is such a good fucking show.
Oh, yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's what turned me into a fan of Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd never heard of her before that.
I didn't either.
Well, actually, she was in Split. She was one of the girls that got kidnapped in Split.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which is,
but she doesn't like in that film. She doesn't like grasp you.
No,
she's kind of just like
that's because what's his name fucking steals the show.
Yeah, he's a good actor too. I forget his name.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up. Jamie.
Yeah, The Queen's Gambit is one of those. You look at it and you watch the trailer, you're like, oh my God, it's chess.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy is a good actor.
Yeah, and like in the trailer, the picture looks goofy on there, and it's Queen's Gambit in his chest, and you're like,
yeah, chess is boring. Which we're both big chess players here.
we're not big chess players.
Well, we
enjoy
both
chess.
really enjoy chess. That's fair. But
Even if you don't,
even
you
if
will
you don't
appreciate this so much.
like chess, the writing is so fucking good.
I mean, like Gabby, she has never played chess in her life.
yeah.
Love the fucking Queen's Gambit. She's the one that got me to watch it. She watched it before I did.
When that first came out, Amazon sold out of chess boards almost immediately. You couldn't buy a chess
And
board
all
off
the and all the
Amazon.
chess nerds were mad because, oh wow, now the popular people are getting into chess.
But you can't look at it that way.
But yeah, I mean,
But that's
obviously.
what happens.
But like that's what happens. Yeah, it
But-
literally popularized chess so much because it's a genius show.
So good.
It's
man.
beautiful. Yeah, that's my number 3. I'll let you talk about it in about a few picks.
We'll see. We'll see what's on the
We'll
list.
see. We'll see. Yeah. So we're at number 2 now for you.
Number 2, coming in at number 2 is Bo Burnham Inside.
Yeah,
Bo Burnham
back.
Inside is a fucking masterpiece.
it's a masterpiece.
And
That's been said on this podcast.
it's
on
already been
this
said
special.
today. It's a fucking masterpiece. Like, it's original. It's genuine. It really takes us into a deep dive of how we all felt during the pandemic.
Right.
We all felt stuck inside and was forced to deal with our own depression and our own issues and our own whatever it is. We had to deal with that. We couldn't go out and mask it by social activities and, beers at the bar or whatever. We couldn't mask that. We had to stay inside and deal with our own thoughts and our own depression.
Yeah, for sure.
And
now, luckily for most of us, we live in the South where it wasn't as taken seriously.
right.
But I'm not sure where did Bo Burnham live in that time because
I'm not sure. He seems like kind of like a New York kind of guy, but I don't know.
Los Angeles.
I can see that too.
So
he definitely seems like a Los Angeles
he
kind of
wasn't
guy.
fucking going anywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So imagine like in our lives where during COVID we kind of went out in places anyways. That wasn't fucking happening in Los Angeles.
Oh, not at all. Not
Yeah.
at all. But Bo Burnham, when I first started. It got recommended to me by so many of our friends.
And I'm like, I'm not watching this. This is Bo Burnham.
And
Fuck that guy.
I'm not a big fan of his like his voice kind of really turns me off. It's very whiny. It's
Well,
very
his voice
like,
turns me on.
what do you call it? Gen Z. He's like very YouTube
Yeah.
guy, like PewDiePie or what. That's kind of was my perspective.
Yeah, it's like
of
a
him.
straight guy that talks like he's gay.
he has just like a very like whiny voice that's a little obnoxious.
I didn't mean gay people were obnoxious,
But
but that voice is obnoxious.
the voice is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not tying it to that, but but that's what
It
like
is.
when I like his comedy comes, I'm like, this is like it's not for me. But I was like, you know what? One Sunday morning, I was like, I'm gonna try this. I sat down and watched it, and the first couple songs, I was like, I'm about to turn this off. I'm about to turn this off.
Jinx, give me some coke.
And then and then like the third or fourth song, it started clicking. I was like, oh my God, this dude is so
He's wrapping it up right here.
it's starting to gain some momentum. And
It gets darker and darker and darker.
it gets so dark to the point to where you're like, you're worried for the guy.
Yeah.
And like for him, just if nothing else, watch it. And you might not like. I don't like the songs that much, but there is something beautiful about yourself as an individual. We could give you all the equipment in the fucking world.
You're not
Take
coming up with this.
take the money out of it. You don't have to buy the equipment. I mean, he's built that through his comedy career, but put yourself in a fucking apartment, 1-bedroom apartment room, and create something.
Yeah.
Create something better than what he did. You will not be able to do
But
it.
you also got to think about, like, we talk about the chase of perfection. You got to admit, that a person like that had to chase perfection because they were at the top, fucking killing it in stand-up comedy and doing what he loved to do, but just couldn't fucking physically do it anymore because
Yeah.
of his anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So now he's, like, struggling to be the version of himself that he once was. And so he feels he had to feel a lot of pressure. And it took him like a year to film it.
There's so many things that I've heard. Like I listened to the Crabman, shout out Crabman, talk about some of the things from this, like little small subliminal messages from it that I haven't even dug deep into.
Right.
But it goes so deep into it's so good, man.
Yeah, he hits.
He mocks so many like pop culture things.
He hits every single genre of pop culture, from politics to fucking Instagram to white women to fucking literally anything you can think of that's stupid, to commercials to to YouTubers to fucking
video games to like all kinds of things.
Everything.
And it's just one of those things where like I didn't care for the music itself, but he has a couple catchy songs, you know. But just to watch,
feeling like a bag of shit,
just to watch him spiral out of control, and then kind of gather himself,
but not really. He's pretending to gather himself.
Maybe,
but
it's so fucking genuine.
Yeah,
man.
I 100% agree, man.
I think it's people who are like battling depression and battling those inner demons. I think they have a lot to relate to when watching Bo Burnham Inside. It is so phenomenal and so original. And to me, I wish a battle between this and number one is what I wanted to put number one. I flopped it so many times. Landed here at number 2 with Bo Burnham Inside, but it is it's not going to be for everyone, but you can at least appreciate the authenticity, the originality, just the beauty.
He fucking kills it.
He even says
it's a masterpiece.
It's a fucking masterpiece for one man to do so much, and it looks like one man doing.
It does,
yeah.
But it's really good.
It's really so good, man. And just to see him spiral out of control and just to kind of battle what he's going through, because he locked himself in that room for fucking a year.
Yeah, right.
Whatever it was. Very interested to see his hair grow and his beard grow. By the end of it,
changing.
It's very, very
in the
good.
order of things. Sorry about the yawn. The order of things like that he puts it in is so perfect.
This bores me.
Yeah. But I actually want to I wish I had a piece of pen and paper that I could write down what I think your honorable mention is. So I'll just text it to you.
Okay. I'll let the audience know if it's right.
But coming in at my number 2.
I think he's going to guess it.
Coming in at my number 2 is another animated series. And it's
oh, good guess. It was on the list.
Wasn't it? Okay. Yeah. So my number 2 is BoJack Horseman.
I knew it would be on here.
I've talked to you about BoJack Horseman for so long. It's another Netflix original. It's a masterpiece. It's a complete masterpiece.
That's Will Arnett, right?
Will Arnett and Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
Nice.
So actually, I saw Aaron Paul in the
airport. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
But on the way to Italy. But yeah, Will Arnett and Aaron Paul. It's a fucking animated series of stupid as shit. It's about it's like humans and animals live together, but the animals are also human-like. So it's BoJack Horseman.
Yeah. It's
a fucking horse and he walks around on his 2 legs and his arms swing like a human, but he's a horse.
And he's like a former star who's like a has-been.
Yeah, so he had this 90s sitcom, which was fucking stupid as shit. But like, it is the darkest fucking show you could possibly imagine. But the thing is, you don't realize that until the end of season 1.
Okay.
You're like, this is a kind
I've
of...
been meaning to watch it, but I haven't really been in like an animated comedy type of
It's
mode.
not a comedy. It says it's a comedy. It's not a fucking comedy. It's a drama. It's gonna in one of my like most depressed moments of my life, this show, I don't know if it made me more or less depressed. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because sometimes
you listen to the sad music, and is it good or bad for you?
Wait, that's the problem with depression is like you kind of indulge, like you kind of
fucking envelop myself in this fucking depression.
Yeah, you just swallow in it. You start listening to sad music because you're depressed, and it makes you even more sad.
Yeah,
it's like how deep down are we
going?
One
of my biggest Alice in Chains periods in my life, you know. But dude, BoJack Horseman. Will Arnett even said like he was in an interview with someone. It was like years after the first season of BoJack Horseman, and so which is actually I think it just ended not long ago. It was on their 6th season, and someone asked Will Arnett, "What's the hardest like acting you've ever had to do? You know, what's the hardest role you've ever played?" And he goes, "It's not even close to BoJack Horseman."
Really?
He said, getting myself into that mind state to play that character is fucking exhausting. He said it is so hard to play that character.
He's like, number 2, huh?
And it was almost number 1.
Almost number 1.
It was almost number 1.
I'm really excited to see what your
struggled
number
not
one
to put this in number 1.
Oh, I feel like I should know exactly what your number 1 is. But we'll get there.
But yeah, BoJack Horseman, dude. If I don't care if you like animated shows or not, this is a must watch. This is a must watch.
Add it to my list. I'm going to check this out.
And you see him spiral through his depression and go through the rehabilitation, and it just doesn't work.
Really?
You see him like do everything you're supposed to fucking do, and it just doesn't work. And there's actually one quote from the show that has stuck with me through all the years. It's like from the second season where he's like trying to be the positive guy and he's fucking running every day, and then he hits that fucking depression wall, that wall we all know.
Yeah.
He hits that wall, and he's trying to force himself to run, and it's actually the last time he runs because he's been doing it whenever he was in a good mood, but whenever that depression hits again, the good mood goes away, and it's hard to keep doing the things you got to fucking do. It's hard to do the fucking cleaning your room or whatever it is, But so he's made running his routine, and it was easy because he's fucking happy-go-lucky guy. But then once the depression hit again, he's running, and he's fucking sitting on this hill. He's bent over, he's going, and he's like, you can see the quit. He's about to quit. And this old guy runs past him and goes, hey, man, it's not easy doing it. He's like, it gets easier every day, but the hard part is doing it every day.
Oh, that's so true.
It gets easier every day, but the hard part is doing it every day.
Fuck, dude.
And then he runs off. And this old guy, and he's fucking, you can tell he's just running. It's easy.
Yeah.
Because he does it every day. But the hard part is doing it every day.
So is it more like a dark comedy, I guess?
It's fucking, I laughed at it the first season, and then I got to the end of the first season where, I don't really want to go into too much detail about what happens, but
yeah,
he's interviewing for this role to play a character that he idoled his whole life, and they're making a movie about this person. And whenever he interviews, he fucking dives so deep into like the depths of his fucking darkest parts of his soul. And the interview was like, holy shit, he is so depressed. Like, that's when it hits you that he's like, oh my God, this guy's so depressed. The end of the first season fucking hits.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check this
Like,
out.
that's, and it was so
You'll have
weird.
to send me your list when you get out of here, just so we.
For sure.
We'll wrap up and
For
talk
sure.
about like our, just name off our top 10
Right,
just to remind.
yeah. But yeah, the end of the season 1, I was like, this is okay. This is okay comedy. We talked about our buddy Greek before. He's the one that recommended me this show.
Nice.
And he was
Good
like,
dude.
yeah, it's pretty funny, but he's like, you got to watch it. He's like, it's much more than you think. I was like, all right. So I watch it, and I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty funny comedy. I'll at least finish the first season just because that seems like the right thing to do. My buddy recommended it. And then the end of season 1, I'm like, oh my God. And then I was hooked, and I watched it every fucking night for like a year.
Yeah, I remember you were really big on that.
Every night for like a year.
Dude.
Right, number 1.
Coming into honorable mention.
Oh, honorable mention. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Honorable mention, you guessed for me, Stutz, which is another Jonah Hill type.
Yeah,
thing.
that's
It's
a documentary.
involving Jonah Hill. Yeah, documentary. Stutz is about. It's not my honorable mention, but it was actually when I first finished watching Stutz, I put it at number 5 on my list,
That makes sense.
and
I'm really surprised it didn't make the list.
then I dropped it down to number 10, and then I was like, maybe an honorable mention. I was like, you know what? Maybe not. But I'm glad you at least guessed, because
Yeah, for
Stutz is
sure.
one of those. I didn't want to get like. Not everyone needs mental health,
True.
but I mean you can say that with anything. Not everyone likes
Or advice on mental health, whatever.
Yes, yes. But I think Stutz really brought in a good perspective that it's okay to have a therapist. It's okay to talk to people about things because we know that, like, especially for men, we've talked
It's so
about
hard to
it
open up.
on previous podcasts of how men really, especially men from like our dads, like
There's the stigma
the
that
men
you
who-
can't open up. It makes you weak.
yes, you men who grew up from the 80s, you can't be emotional. You can't open up about things. You push it down, push
Right.
everything down. And I don't think that's the right way to handle.
I agree. 100%.
I think you're going to end up a bitter old person who's unhappy.
Yeah.
Is that your goal? I mean, it's not
That's
my
fine.
goal.
Yeah, it is what it is.
If that's what you want, but personally, I'm not like that. I'm kind of always challenging myself mentally. Why do
Yeah,
I do
for
this?
sure.
Why do I do that? And even the things that I think that are
100%.
100% are working for me, or I'm always going to challenge the opposite.
Yeah.
Just to kind
playing
of
devil's
form
advocate with
a
yourself.
more free-thinking
An open mind, yeah.
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I told Hayden the other day, uncomfortable is the most important thing, the best thing you can be.
Right. And I think Stutz is, I don't mean to make a second honorable mention for myself. I know
Right.
that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But Stutz is one of the things I think that everybody can benefit from. If you watch
Right.
it, you're going to benefit and you'll really feel what they're feeling on a personal level. Definitely check that out. But my honorable mention is actually Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. We talked about it downstairs.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about
Dolomite Is My Name. I think it won a Golden Globe. No, Golden Globe's like
it.
television,
Yeah, it's
right?
Eddie Murphy. It's who else is in that? I forget.
Oh, it's loaded.
fucking
cast.
loaded,
It's
yeah.
like Jordan Peele,
Oh,
Wesley
yeah.
Snipes.
Fuck, I forget he's in
mean,
there. Michael Keegan Key's in it, I'm pretty sure.
I say Jordan Peele, yeah.
Okay.
Michael, yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah, I
hilarious.
forgot what's his name. I gotta rewatch that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Dolomite is My Name is it's
And
actually
fucking
a
Motherfuckers Up
remake.
Is My Game.
Yeah, it's a remake of
Like
the
a
original
60s film,
or-
right?
yeah, I think it's either a remake or it's based off a real person. I think it's a
Yeah,
remake.
Dolomite is a real person. I'm pretty sure. I think
Yes.
it might have been based off of it.
Comedian who kind of stole jokes from
No, Dolomite was a 1975 film
right.
about Rudy Ray Moore. Or Rudy Ray Moore played the
Ah.
character of Dolomite.
I
I think he was a real person, and they made the
Dolomite is My Name is such a. You don't see a lot of like modern comedies that are really funny. This one was really good. Highly recommend checking out Dolomite's My Name. I mean, it's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eddie Murphy is fucking
and he hits
without question.
and he hits during that.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
It's amazing.
So my honorable mention is actually it was on my list. It had it around the 10 area, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna put it on there, and that's why I kind of asked about the honorable mentions. I actually just made one, which is Lock and Key.
Oh yeah, you did recommend this one.
Yeah, so Lock and Key is it's a show about these fucking kids growing up in the new house. You know, they're trying to figure things out with their life. You know, their dad just passed away. He actually got murdered, and murdered, and muck ducked, and so they moved to a new house, a new town. You know, their mom's got to get away and everything, and the youngest kid goes out into the well house and he's hearing this voice, and there's this fucking woman out there, and she goes, "Hey, if you you give me if I give you this key, you can let me out, or if you give me that key right there, I can get out." And she's like stuck inside the well house. And like she's in like this fucking green dress. And it's like this beautiful woman. It's like, how the fuck is the little kid doesn't know any better, so he gives her the key, you know, and she walks through the door and just disappears. And so he's like, what the fuck is going on now? So, you know, he ends up finding like more keys like that. And like all these keys have these superpowers. And so it's a fucking little kid show basically. But no, I mean it's got like some fucking dark nuances for adults that they can enjoy for sure.
Right.
I definitely wouldn't call it a little kid show. It's probably more like, you know, TVMA.
Okay.
But yeah, like the little kids and then finally he tries to convince his fucking older brothers. The kid's like 10 and all his brother and sister are like, you know, teenage high schoolers. Another high schooler show, you know, once again. And, but yeah, they get these keys, and obviously there's some fucking higher power out there that's trying to get the keys to fucking take over the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like a super hero kind of thing. It's like just fucking normal people going against like the evil. It kind of reminds you like the Goonies or like
okay. I'm surprised that hasn't been remade yet.
I know, right? I'm really glad.
Especially when they had the Stranger Kids cast at when they were very young, they had that lightning in a bottle, they just waited too long and they got too old.
No
for the
shit.
Goonies,
Now
but
they have fucking
should've-
goatees and shit.
If they were smart, they would have taken the
There's gonna be another season.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another one.
How the fuck are they gonna do that?
I don't know.
The character Lucas has a beard.
It's getting ridiculous.
But yeah, Lock and Key, it's a pretty cool show. It's got really good action scenes, and it's got good like drama scenes, and it's really fun to watch. That same thing I talked about with Sex Education. Those like high schoolers and like the younger people that you relate to battle that like adult fucking situation because they don't know how to deal with an adult situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes as an
Hell,
adult,
who does?
Exactly. Sometimes as an adult,
Yeah.
it's fucking hard to deal with an adult situation. So it's really interesting to see the overcome of adversity.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. So
You've talked about this one.
yeah,
before.
it's good. It's good. So
Got some good music in it too, right? Didn't you say that?
I don't think that's the one.
Okay. I remember you saying there was some kind of like Alice in Chains reference. That
Oh, maybe there was.
in that, but maybe not.
Maybe there was. It's been a while since I've watched it, so
Okay.
I've got to keep it. The new season's out. I just haven't watched it yet,
Yeah.
but it's solid. Me and Gabby are gonna watch it like in the next 2 weeks.
Nice.
So yeah, but yeah, number one. We're at our final fucking. Final
Okay,
show,
number
right,
one
Netflix
coming in
recommendation.
for me. I can't recommend this. This is like when people ask me like what I'm watching, what I'm into. This is the first thing that comes up, and that's The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah,
The Queen's Gambit to me was fucking phenomenal. You take something as boring as chess is, and you turn it into a fucking masterpiece. It's
Right.
just like it just takes phenomenal writing just to do that alone. Like I remember when she's playing. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but she's playing a chess guy. She's playing a guy in chess, and the way they write it to where like when you're watching them battle it out in chess, like you and me, we play chess. We know who's winning for the most part, and when it's
we'll have
getting
to
down
play
to
some
it.
after this.
But the common person who doesn't really understand chess, they don't really know what they're watching.
But it's not about that.
And it's not about that. But take that into perspective when you're thinking of like, that's the scene. Two people playing chess sounds very boring. Like, who says, okay, I'm going to take chess and we're going to video it and we're going to put it out there
And make a
show. That's risky in itself. But to take something so boring, if you don't play, like chess players, we love chess, we can watch chess, whatever. But
the show's not about chess, though.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah,
it's clearly about chess.
It uses chess as like a vice for showing that competitive edge.
Yes.
Like anybody that's competitive, like whenever you've worked your fucking ass off, you're dedicated your entire life to a specific thing, and someone's better than you at it.
But I don't want to get too political here.
Sure.
But I want to say this. I want to say that Hollywood, if you're looking for a way to like make a woman-dominated
now this is towards
show.
Hollywood, right? We're talking to Hollywood right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So when they watch
Hollywood,
this, they will take note.
Yeah, okay. That's
So,
fair. Yeah, okay. Just making sure I was following.
Yeah, so Hollywood, you want to make a woman-empowering show or a movie, it's not redoing what men have done.
Like, give me an example.
Ghostbusters.
I was thinking She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Ocean's whatever that they did, the Ocean's 11 ripoff.
Ocean's 11.
Remember, they did some kind of ripoff of that. It's not
it
copying what women don't want that.
No, they don't.
They want
their own thing. Because that's what's empowering in itself.
And one thing that annoys me about Hollywood is like when they throw these beliefs at you with the movie, like say it's gun control, for example, and the character is like pro or anti-gun. I mean, I don't care, but just to throw it, like trying to make me manipulate they're trying to manipulate you into believing a certain thing,
Right.
which is what they believe.
I want to go back
throw
to
that into their. Hang on a second.
Okay.
They throw that into their films. The Queen's Gambit is, to me, one of the greatest. One of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
Right.
But you have a woman lead who is dominating every man she comes across, just destroying them. And I'm not going to spoil it in the end, whatever. But
and the sport of chess is also male dominated.
Completely male
Like
dominated.
in the one of the first scenes where she goes to a tournament, it's split up. At the first round, if you're a female, you have to go against another female.
Right.
Because it's not fair in their eyes because of the statistics.
The character development in that show with Anna Taylor-Joy, that's what made me a fan. I'm such a huge fan of her.
She is awesome.
Beth Harmon, the lead character, is, I mean, just to see her grow, it's kind of cheating because she starts young, so you're going to see that growth, but
But really, she becomes an adult by like the third episode.
No, I think it's season 1 she starts to become.
There's only one season.
Oh, that's fair.
I think the third episode she's an adult.
I don't know why I thought there was 3 seasons, but yeah, they're like 8 episodes.
There's 8 episodes.
It's like season, episode 3. Yeah, maybe it's episode 3, not season 3. Yeah, maybe you're right. But yeah, just to see her go in, even seeing them writing a woman going in and kicking men's asses. Loved every bit of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Loved every fucking bit of it.
That's
because it's
awesome.
so good. And I didn't feel like they were just like shoving it down.
It didn't feel that way, yeah.
It didn't feel like a woman was trying to make a statement when she made it. I don't know who directed it. I think it was men who directed it. And there's been some pushback.
Probably.
I actually saw a little bit of pushback of like, this is what men think that a woman's lowest point is. Like when she has her lowest point in that show, when she's like smoking and she's
there's
in
a lot of hills and valleys.
Yeah, there's a lot of hills and valleys.
Character.
She's like, and it's like her like smoking and drinking, being comfortable on the couch. Like women are giving a little bit of pushback, but I think that what women don't realize is that like this is progressive in so many ways without it being obnoxiously progressive.
They're not doing it to shit on women. They're doing it to shit on the person's character.
Yeah,
the character itself is being in a shitty point, but not because she's a shitty person, because of the fucking past that she's had has built her that way.
And that's honestly the smallest thing that I've taken from that show, outside of like you don't know where it's going.
Right.
It's the chase to perfection with Beth Harmon.
Yeah.
She is a fucking prodigy chess player. It's so good. I think that everyone needs to watch it. If someone's going to ask me what I'm recommending, that's the first one I'm going to.
Right. And I know you accidentally had to honorable mentions, kind of, but
Yeah.
I actually want to add one more honorable mention.
Go ahead.
And I didn't want to put this on the list for a reason, but Archive 81.
You've always been talking about this one. I like
It's one season, and they didn't renew it for a second season, is why I'm not putting it on there.
Yeah.
But if you want a good fucking 8 episodes of yeah, me too. It's okay. I only have one more left.
Okay.
It's a good show. It makes you uncomfortable. It's one of those it's a Netflix original horror show, and it makes you fucking uncomfortable. It's about this guy's like a cinema guy where he's restoring old tapes, and he gets involved with this company. He's fucking broke. He needs a job. He gets involved with this company that is wanting him to restore some tapes about a fire that burned down this hotel in the 80s. And so as he's watching the tapes, he realizes that this woman was filming about this hotel, and it gets involved with the fucking cult in the hotel. And as he's watching it, he realizes that the shit the where he's filming it at is part of the fucking cult thing.
Ah.
So the people.
You've been telling me to watch this. I need to watch this.
So the company that is hiring him is actually trying to find out how to get in touch with this cult and fucking bring back this get to this other dimension.
Okay.
Which is where this fucking demonic monster is. Of course, they're trying to take over the world and all this bullshit, but the small he's a pawn in this chess game,
Okay, yeah.
And he's fucking smart and he's figuring it out, but also he's involved. The woman that's in the video, you find this out in the first episode, but the woman that he's watching that was filming it, the videotapes that got burned, actually his dad was a therapist and he was her fucking therapist.
Oh.
So,
shit.
and she that's where he got his dog from. So he sees his dog in a picture of her. And he's like, that's my fucking dog from when I was a little kid. But the one that ran off and died. And he's like, what the fuck?
That's interesting. Yeah,
and so that's where he gets hooked. And that's where he's like, where the fuck? He approaches the company. He's like, where the fuck did you get this? And then he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, And then he eventually wants to dive deeper. And then he dives in a little too fucking deep with this cult.
Oh, okay. I'm interested.
It's really fucking good, dude. It makes you
Archive
so
81.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's a fucking spooky show. Well, spooky, creepy.
I want to guess what your number one is, but I don't have a guess.
Just one guess. Go ahead. I think you can get it.
It's a series for sure because you said you
It's a
ran
show.
out of.
Yeah, I only had 3 movies on here, so yeah, it's a show.
It's Better Call Saul.
It's not Better Call Saul. It's actually Sense8.
That's your number one.
It's my number 1.
Okay, I was shocked that it wasn't on the list, but I didn't think you would put it number one.
Sense8 is one of the best Netflix originals I've ever seen.
I've heard a lot of good things. Heather watched it; she really liked it.
So Sense8, and there's only one knock I have on the show, and there's just so much sex in the show.
That's what turned me off on it.
However, even with that, it is one of the greatest shows I've ever watched.
It looks really good.
It's a top 3 favorite show for me all time.
Really?
And it's only 2 seasons. It's hour episodes though, so it's plenty of fuck. It's fucking over 20 hours of a show. But yeah, Sense8 is about it's 8 random people across the world, and they're connected mentally, psychologically, and so they can interchange each other's brains and bodies. They can jump inside. There's a character from Korea and there's a character from Kenya, right?
Yeah.
And the character from Kenya can't fight that good, but the Korean character can fight like crazy. And then the Kenyan character gets in a situation where he's about to get the shit beat out of him, and then the Korean woman jumps in and fucking fights using his body.
Oh, nice.
But they can do this interchangeably across all 8 people.
Right.
And there's a few in America. There's a Russian guy. There's they're all they're all connected in this way. The Sense8s. That's what they call them.
So 8 people.
It's 8 people, yeah. And of course, it becomes this thing where the government is trying to come after them because they can use them as weapons and shit.
Right.
But the fucking camaraderie and them working together as people, I didn't realize. I would always make fun of people that cried and watching shows and TVs and movies and stuff. That's the first time I ever cried watching a show.
Damn,
I cried multiple times.
Okay.
Such a good fucking emotional show, and they one point they get to. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
yeah,
they fucking the connection they have to have.
I was
gonna
guess Sense8, but I was like, I don't think you would put it this high, but that says a lot.
The connection they have to have between each other they have to have a bond because they have to trust each other. But of course they trust each other because they're always in each other's heads.
Yeah.
And so it's they build this fucking overwhelming trust to work together.
I've seen a little bit of it.
And man, it is so fucking good.
Yeah. I've heard good things about it.
And they get through a lot of fucked up situations. Obviously there's a big theme in this where there's fucking overcoming adversity. What'd you make that face for?
Oh no, I just got to pee.
Okay. They overcome a lot of adversity, and that's my theme in my fucking top 10. But man, it is so fucking good.
Yeah, I've always heard good things about it, and I've caught a little bit of it. It does seem like I've always been kind of against like unnecessary sex scenes just to build.
And I'm
It
100%.
seems
It's
gimmicky,
annoying.
but yeah.
But I feel like it's definitely.
I've heard it, was it has a really good premise. And it looks
I think
really
it's
well done.
definitely. The more I think about it, it kind of has a decent place in the show. Because if you're with fucking 8 people in your head, you're probably gonna fuck one of them.
Of course.
Like, I mean, you're fucking spinning nonstop
that's
with
fair.
their head,
That's
and they're in those situations where they have to depend on each other, and when you're dependent on a person, relationships build. But like, it is a little over the top,
Yeah.
and it's still at my number one. That's how good the show is.
Okay, yeah, that's exciting. Dude, I've heard a lot of good things about that show.
But yeah, like you said, it's man, it's our first Netflix special, or our first, not our Netflix special, but our first special.
Let us know in the comment section of like lists you want us to make or you're interested in us making.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything you like, if you guys agree with these lists, and this isn't going to replace our podcast. We're actually going to do our podcast today here in a second. But do you want to go back through your top 10 list?
Yes, I will. At number 10, I have The Marriage Story. 9, Ozark. 8, Love on the Spectrum. 7, Ballad of Buster Scruggs. 6, Maniac. 5, Love, Death, and Robots. 4, Black Mirror. 3, Better Call Saul. 2, Inside by Bo Burnham. And number 1, The Queen's Gambit.
And your honorable mentions were Stutz and
Dolomite Is My Name.
Dolomite Is My Name. So my number 10, I've got There's Someone Inside Your House. 9, Big Mouth. 8, Sex Education. 7, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. 6, Bo Burnham Inside. 5, Supernatural. 4, The Devil All the Time. 3, Queen's Gambit. 2, BoJack Horseman. My 2 honorable mentions were Lock and Key and Archive 81, and my number 1 is Sense8.
Hey. Cheers,
Hey.
brother. It's been
Cheers,
fun.
man. We appreciate the listeners, like we always say.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us.
Yeah. We'll
Hey,
see you next time.
Check this top 10 out, and leave a comment about some lists you want us to do in the future.
Love you guys.
See y'all.
Bye.